up, guys? How is it going today? Apologies for the slight delay there. There was a little bit of technical issues on my end that I had to clear up really quickly, so thank you for your patience. Welcome everybody to the stream today. And thank you for stopping by. We have, let me get my chat up here. We've got Anthony Sanchez, who was here first today. He says, cannot wait. Good to see you, Anthony. Thank you for hanging with us today. We also have Hey Cup in here as well. Welcome to both of you. And thank you guys for the patience as I tried to get this stream up. I mean, I don't know what it was. All of a sudden, you know, Twitch just didn't want to work for me. YouTube was fine, but Twitch was giving me a little bit of difficulty. Now, we have 496 million GP to work with today. So we're going to see what we can do with that today. Hopefully make a good bit of change out of it. Again, welcome everybody to the stream today. I hope you are enjoying it. Now, let me know how you guys are doing today. I'm always very curious to know. But besides that, let's get started. Let's get the stream going. And thank you all for tuning in. So let's do the, I'm going to do the Amulet of Torture first today. We're going to do the Amulet of Torture, the Ring of Suffering, Tormented Bracelet, and Necklace of Anguish, as long as all of them look good. Again, these Zenyte flips are really simple flips. I know I talk about that a lot, but I would probably recommend the Zenyte jewelry as one of the best flips for people who are, you know, they know how to flip. They have a little bit of flipping experience at the least, and they're trying to expand into more expensive items or, you know, lower volume items. The Zenyte jewelry is a great step in that area because they're more expensive, and while they are high volume, they do simulate sort of a lower volume item, but they do trade a bit faster, right? Because that is, the margin is a lot higher on those. And anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and list a few of these Necklaces of Anguish, which are actually advertising a very good margin right now. So I'm hoping to capitalize on that. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to flip all of them, but we're going to try our best to hit as many as possible. And let's also do the Dragon Darts. Super simple flip. I do think that the Dragon Darts might be starting a price recovery soon. I'll have to check out the price real quick. Looks like they've kind of stabilized around 2.3, 2.4 mil-ish. I know they have been trading in that range for the past couple of days now. And we'll list a few of those. Let them do their thing. We have Alejandro saying, very good day in the crypto market. Hope it's going to be a great day in the Grand Exchange as well. Good to see you, Alejandro. Yes, we're going to have a great day on the Grand Exchange. You know what it is. Every time we're on here flipping, we usually have a pretty solid day. So we tend to have a lot of luck on the live streams at least. And good to see you, Alejandro. Thank you for stopping by today. And welcome to the stream, man. Welcome, welcome. Now we have 1.3 bill left to put into some flips. Let's go ahead and do the Bandos Tassets and the Bandos Chest Plates. Again, my goal for this stream is to kind of get all of that higher volume PVM gear that is still relatively expensive out of the way first. And then we can maybe expand into some of those lower volume, higher margin items, kind of like we did last time with the Volatile Orbs. I'm thinking we go maybe the same direction, although I'm a little bit skeptical of flipping the Volatile Orbs right now just because they have been crashing quite a lot in price. Basically since the last stream that we had. I mean, I think they went down from like 195 to 175 or 172 within the past 48 hours. So that shows me it's a strong downward trend on the Volatile Orbs and makes me not really want to flip it as much. Let's go ahead and get those Bandos chest plates listed. Also, we're going to do the Primordial Boots next. The Primordial Boots have been a great performer for us on these past couple of live streams. And I really like the Primordial Boots as a higher volume flip because they actually are surprisingly high volume, but they're still a gear-related item, so not as high volume as something like a Nature Rune or something of that nature, right? Not as much volume as a consumable. But what I do like about them is that the limit on them is 15 every 4 hours, which leaves that item open to a ton of profit. We're also going to sell these Amulets of Torture back, which bought really quickly. Hey Cup saying hello, hello. Good to see you, Hey Cup. Thank you for stopping by. We have Allow More over on YouTube. He says, if an item insta-sell price is above its average price, is this more of a risk than normal? Allow More, that is a great question, and welcome to the stream today. Yes, it is more risk. That being said, most of it depends how far above the average price the item is. If it's only like 20k, 30k, or something that's not that significant, then you can still probably flip the item. Because even if the item is above its average price, who says it's not going to go any higher than it's, where it currently is? Even if it's a little bit more. Even if it's above average price, it could go way above average price, and you could still make money on it. So, it's not a great sign of if an item is it's like a good idea to flip an item or not, but you should err on the skeptical side if it is above the average price, definitely. That's a good question, though. Not a lot of people ask that. Baby Bear RS over on Twitch says, hey, with a smiley face. Good to see you, Baby Bear RS, and welcome to the stream today. We're going to try to make some bank here today. As you guys know, we always try to make as much money as possible while teaching you guys as much about flipping as I possibly can. So if you guys have any questions about what to flip with your cash stack or anything related to flipping, please let me know. I'd love to walk through some scenarios, some examples, or just recommend some items for you to flip with your cash stack. Now, the next item we're going to get in here is the Elder Malls, which we're currently clearing about 45k on, as long as they do buy at the current margins. We're going to top off our Grand Exchange inventory with the Dragon Claws, and I'm actually not flipping on 2 accounts today. Some of you might have noticed that, and the reason I'm actually not is because we've got a video in the works on the alt account, and I don't want to mess with the amount of gold we're making, so we're going to stay away from the alt account today, but we'll still probably have some pretty good returns. It looks like actually the margins are really, really good right now. These Dragon Claws almost aren't even worth flipping. I am going to flip a few just to make up for that margin check cost, but most of the time I wouldn't even flip them at this current margin. Currently, we're clearing about 25k on them, which really is not too significant. But everything else seems to be buying without too much of a problem here. So we're going to see how much we can make today. I think it's going to be a good little hour quick session here on the Grand Exchange. And let me know what you guys think. If you guys want me to flip any certain items, definitely let me know in the live chat. And welcome everybody to this lovely Wednesday afternoon or evening stream, depends where you live, or morning stream possibly, who knows. We're going to try to do as much expensive stuff today. Nothing too crazy, but like I said before, a lot of these higher traded PVM items, I really like flipping items that have a defined use within the game, right? So Primordial Boots, really good. Bandos Chestplate, Bandos Tacit, Necklace of Anguish, Amulet of Torture. Things that like there clearly is demand for as they have use in game. Those are my favorite items to flip personally because they flip pretty quickly, and on top of that, you always know there's going to be somewhat a level of demand for them, so usually selling these items off is not really a big deal. Morning over on YouTube says, morning indeed, 1 a.m. here. I said morning as your name. Hey Cup, I meant. Hey Cup says, morning indeed, it's 1 a.m. here. Whew, you got to sign off, man. You got to head to bed. It's kind of late. 1 a.m. on a Wednesday. Feels good, man. Well, I guess it's technically a Thursday where you are. Oh, man. We just finished up on those tortures, which actually netted us a pretty good profit. 160k on those alone. Also, we're going to turn around and sell these Dragon Darts back, which should go for a decent margin as well. Looks like we're going to clear about 15 GP on every one that we do flip. It's actually solid margin for the Dragon Darts. Let's also go ahead and list the Dragon Warhammer as well. I was going to go ahead and do the Abyssal Bludgeon, but I feel like the Warhammer is just a little bit more consistent of an item, typically trades a little bit faster, and can have similar margins. So we will do the Abyssal Bludgeon after we do the Dragon Warhammer, but I'd like to do the Warhammers first. I think it's just a little bit safer and easier to get profit on them. Wow, huge margin on those Warhammers right now. Wow, that was a really expensive margin check, though. We're going to see if we can make up for that really quickly here. I think we will be able to. It does seem like a lot of these items are trading today. Hey Cup over on YouTube says, unemployed due to my town being at the highest Rona alert. Applied for a few jobs, looking grim though. Dude, that freaking sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. You know, I think everyone is about done with this virus right now. We call it human malware here on the channel, so the human malware needs to, you know, go away at this point. Things are looking up though. You know, obviously we have the vaccine on the horizon, and man, I can't wait to go outside and enjoy life normally again. Although I do thrive in the quarantine environment. It's just like missing like the basic necessities, like going out to eat, going out to a bar. It really stinks when you can't do those things. Anyway, welcome everybody to the live stream today. Be sure to drop a like if you are enjoying it. On top of that as well, if you're not with us on Discord, be sure to join us with the link in the description below. We've got a huge flipping team over on Discord that we'd love for you to be a part of. And we have a flipping competition going on right now within the Discord group with prizes upwards of, I believe, 15 million if you win the first place, and you get the holiday bonus that we have on there as well. So we need more entries for that. Currently, right now, we only have 2 entries, so your odds of winning the competition are extremely high. So please, please, please submit your flips to that. We would love some more participation in there. I mean, there's really no downside to it, right? Because if you win, you're going to get some free gold. So Alejandro says, I'm preparing a 1-week secret overnight for the hashtag Good Flips channel. It's gonna be crazy. 3 days so far. Dude, I am so excited to hear that, Alejandro. Please post it. Don't forget to post it in time, okay? Make sure you're reading those rules and you're getting your submission in on time. We have Lake Kiesi popping in over on YouTube as well, saying hi. Good to see you, Lake. Thank you for tuning in today, and drop a like if you are enjoying this. And we also have Haycup popping in here, and he says, human malware, and he's laughing at that. He says, the thing is, I'm a practical engineer. I mess with and touch stuff, and I can't exactly fix a car from home. That makes a lot of sense, honestly. Well, hopefully, again, things turn around here soon. Obviously, the case count is going up a little bit, or a lot of it, depending on your opinion on that, but it should be over soon. Give me 1 second, guys. Just gonna turn some AC on. You might be thinking, like, Escapenomics, why are you turning your AC on in the middle of winter? Dude, my room, it gets freaking hot. Especially when I put the jacket on and I start commentating. Oh, whew, a little bit sweaty. Now we have 336 million GP to put into another flip. I think the next thing we're going to do, while we could do the Abyssal Bludgeon, is the Armadillo Crossbow. I'm going to do the Armadillo Crossbow. We had a couple people talking about this earlier within our Discord group, and they were saying, like, hey, the Armadillo Crossbow looks like it's going on a little bit of a price run right now. So I'm going to try to take advantage of that and capture it. We'll see what kind of margin we can get on that. Unfortunately, it's not as good as it was earlier today. I mean, we had people flipping the Armadillo Crossbow earlier who were hitting, like, I believe they were hitting like 1 mil in total after flipping all of them. It still has a decent margin, but not as good as before. Plus, I bet that outfit is not the most cool. It's definitely a little cool looking, but no, it does not really concede to my needs of comfort. That's for sure. Baby Bear RS over on Twitch says 600k profit from those earlier. Woo! That's what I like to hear, man. We're almost out of the negative here. Now we're 73k down. We should be able to turn around and get out of that really, really quickly here. Seems like everything's doing fine. We might want to move around the Necklace of Anguish just a little bit, though. The margin on this was a lot better than I was expecting, so I'm not really surprised that we're not able to buy too many of them right now. We'll try and bump that up a little bit. I'm hoping, again, that we are able to buy those. Hey, JPS over on YouTube says, glad to catch a stream at the start. Good to see you, JPS. Thank you for tuning in today. Yeah, dude, I feel like every time you've popped in here, it's been so much later in the stream, and I just feel awful, right? Like, I want to keep streaming. I want to stream for as long as I can, but, like, the thing is, during the week, it's really hard. Like, basically just working all day and then getting off. I try to eat dinner before the streams, but most of the time I'm not able to, and then just resting basically afterwards. Oh, but today I have to edit. We have we had work, then we have the stream, then we have dinner, and then we have a video to edit. So today is all YouTube for me. Allow More says, the blowpipe had a stupid margin this morning, almost 1 million after selling the limit. What the heck? You know, I suspect that, I do expect Zulrah items to recover in price, and I think that Sir Pugger's video talking about Jag expanding the bots might have been the kickstart to that recovery. I think a lot of investors or people who are looking to invest their money, they're looking for opportunities, obviously, where the item's going to go up a lot in price, but on top of that, they need to know the exact time to get into their investment, right? So I think what happened was people saw that video, people saw that Jagex and noticed these bots, and as soon as they saw that, they're like, this is the perfect time to buy in for the investment, which is why Zulrah Scales and the Toxic Blowpipes got a little bit of a price bump. Now, personally, if I was investing in Zulrah Scales, I would not buy the Zulrah Scales themselves. I'd actually buy the Toxic Blowpipes, and the reason that is because the Toxic Blowpipes, if they increase in price, they're going to increase more per item than the Zulrah Scales will. Of course, there's nothing wrong with buying these Zulrah Scales either, but personally, I would go with the Toxic Blowpipe. I think it might have a better return overall than the Zulrah Scales would. Although it would be actually higher, it would be a lot harder to buy like a ton of Toxic Blowpipes, so maybe you'd only want to buy Toxic Blowpipes if you had multiple accounts. That would be up to you. I can't even buy the blowpipe for 15% over, says Baby Bear RS over on Twitch. That's insane. 15%? Oh my goodness. We're going to do a flip that I don't typically do here on stream very often. Actually, before we do that, though, I'm going to do, actually, let's do the Imbued Heart first. I do have a couple flips in mind. I was going to do the Din's Bulwark and the Dragonfire Shields, but instead we're just going to try and hit the Imbued Heart first, see if we can make a little bit of money on that, and then if that turns out well, we can go ahead and do some other items. And we'll go ahead and list a few Imbued Hearts. We're going to knock a few down here, and just, we didn't buy as many as I'd like to have bought, but that's fine. Haycup says, over on YouTube, he says, yeah, I can't get my hands on one either. They are skyrocketing. It's not surprising to me. Obviously, if the blowpipe increases in price, these Zulrah Scales will increase in price and vice versa. Another item that you could look into is the Trident of the Swamp, I think is another Zulrah item that you can, the reason why these Toxic Blowpipes and, you know, the Trident of the Swamp and things like that, the reason they go up while these Zulrah Scales go up is because obviously you can break down the Blowpipe into Zulrah Scales if you so choose, and that's why those items go up at the same time and usually follow a very similar pattern. So that's a pro tip right there. If you see one item is far ahead of the others, then you can buy the other item, right? Because, like, for example, if Zulrah Scales are super cheap but the Blowpipe's getting more expensive, then you might want to buy some Zulrah Scales because they're probably likely to go up. Or it could be the opposite. Blowpipes are going to go down. So just keep that in mind. I actually wanted to make a video talking about inverse items where, because in RuneScape, some items have very similar patterns, right? They're like correlated. So for example, the yew longbows and the bowstring, those are correlated items, or sorry, the yew logs and the bowstring. As one goes up, typically the other goes down. So it would make for an interesting video because if you watch one item go down, then you can buy the other item because it's going to go up. Things like that. Also, we almost have all of these Armadyl crossbows. I do expect that the Armadyl crossbows are probably going to give us a little bit of difficulty selling. We're also on margin for the Primordial boots, as the last one we bought was 15 seconds ago, which is really, really good, honestly. Very happy with that. I didn't think it would be that easy to buy them. We're going to give the Bandos chestplates just a slight knockdown as well. And we'll list that, let it do its thing. I am Jeremy over on YouTube says, why do you flip real world money? No, basically, I just love flipping in RuneScape. It's what I've liked the most out of this entire game since I've started playing, and I like to make video content on it, so that's really why I flip. It's kind of just a self-challenge for myself to see how far I can get, and, you know, I feel like flipping is an underappreciated thing in the game, and I'd like to bring that to light more and show people how much gold you can just make by buying and selling items back and forth. It's really a passion of mine, believe it or not. World of RS popping in over on YouTube as well. Good to see you, man. Hey Cup says, glad I was able to stay and say hello, but it's time for bed for me. Good night, my dude. See you later. Hey Cup, thank you for tuning in today. Really do appreciate it. And get some rest, man. I know it's late where you are, so. We're going to turn around and sell these Dragon Claws. Hopefully they sell pretty quickly. I didn't really want to flip them in the first place, but I decided to go ahead and actually do it at the end here. And I don't know. I just felt like we might as well flip a few, make up for the margin cost. But if they don't sell, that's going to give us a little bit of difficulty, and I'll be pretty upset about it. So hoping those sell pretty quick. Also, we're not having a lot of luck buying these Anguishes. I don't think that these Dragon Warhammers are going to end up buying either, but we'll be patient on them. Those Imbued Hearts came in. We'll turn around and sell those as well. Sitting back, kicking back, flipping some items on this lovely Wednesday evening. Welcome everybody to the stream today. I hope you are enjoying it. Leave a like if you are. Also, if you're watching over on Twitch, shout out to you. Our Twitch channel is actually pretty new. We've been streaming on YouTube for quite some time, I believe since early 2018, maybe even 2017. I'd have to go look and see when the first stream was, but the Twitch channel is new as of like last month, so thank you for checking it out on Twitch. We really do appreciate that, and we love the Twitch family as much as we do love the YouTube family, so welcome to the stream. And my name is Scapenomics. If you have any questions about flipping or money making in old school RuneScape, be sure to let me know, and I'd love to talk about it, love to chat through some items with you. I find that a lot of people that come in here, they're always wondering like, hey, what do I flip with X amount of GP, or should I flip this? What should I do? I don't know how to flip, things like that. So honestly, we can just like go ahead and talk about so many items here today, or just strategies, items, whatever you guys want. I am Jeremy over on YouTube says, I've spent time learning and benefiting from the market on CSGO skins, but that's for real money. Seems like a lot of work not to gather some monetary gain. Well, you know, it's funny because a lot of people say that it's not really for monetary gain. It's just a hobby. Like, it's just, I challenge myself to see how much money I can make. I keep you guys updated on it, and I make content to show you guys how you can make money and do whatever you want with the gold. Personally, I don't trade it. I just build up my cash stack, see how far I can get, and eventually we're hoping to get it to max cash, and even beyond that. I'd like to get to 10 bill eventually, but that's another story. We're gonna get to max cash first and then go from there. But anyway, I don't like, I'm not in it for money. Like, I'm really not. I just do this for fun. We've been doing it for fun for a long time, and it's just a passion project. That's really it. We'll go ahead and sell the Elder Maul back here on the exchange today. We're supposed to be getting about, I think, I cut the margin a little bit, so I think we're going to get like 40k for every Elder Maul that we do sell. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and list the Abyssal Bludgeon at the same exact time. The Abyssal Bludgeon has been sort of a funky item, I've got to be honest. It's gone, I think recently it's gone from like between 35 and 40 mil, like up and down over the past 3 months or so. Even with less demand from Trailblazer leagues, this thing has been quite a hot item. I think it might be due to the Nightmare boss. I think that's why it's been keeping a pretty solid price point. Even though the Inquisitor Mace is better, I know there has been a lot of interest in going to the Nightmare boss recently. So anyway, just my little rationale on it, I guess, or my interpretation. We're going to fill up this next slot with magic logs. We're just going to put a really simple flip in. We could put something more expensive since we do have 69 mil, but I think we're just going to put a nice little safe flip in there as long as the margin is good, and the margin on the magic logs is better than I did expect. We're going to clear about 6 GP on those. We're going to list them, let them do their thing, buy up here, and see how it actually turns out for us. That's pretty cool, Jeremy, that you've been learning the CSGO market, though. CSGO is a game that I've never really played. I've played it a couple times, but it's never really a game I got into. Although I do find the skin market on that game to be quite interesting. Any game that has some sort of like real world economy kind of aspect to it, I find to be pretty interesting. Even like the Steam marketplace with other games having certain skins that you can sell and things like that. A game like Don't Starve, where yes, you can trade the skins if you want, but they're not very expensive. Probably not that much money to be made out of it. But I know some of those CSGO skins go for like $600 or more, I'm pretty sure. So maybe not at this point, but they did at some point. So it's really crazy to see that. Also, we're almost done buying up these Armadillo crossbows here. We might cut it. We'll give it like another 30 seconds to see if we can get one more. These primordial boots we're probably going to cut as well. I don't want to lose the good margin that we have on it. Just considering how long we let those sit there and not adjust the price on it, seems to be like a really good item for us. Going super well so far. We're up 700k so far, only 24 minutes into the stream. That's not our best performance, but it is definitely not our worst performance at the same time. We're going to knock down the Dragon Claws just like 2k or so. I'm trying to sell them off for a decent margin. As long as we make a little bit of profit on those, I'm not too upset. I just want to make sure we sell them for break even or a profit. And since we sold one off, okay, now we've got some more pairs going off, which is good. So the Dragon Claws, I actually ended up listing those, although I did not love the margin on it at the time that we did list it. I just wanted to try to trade a few back and forth to make up for the margin cost, which is a typical strategy I do, right? If I buy and sell an item back to the Grand Exchange and I don't think the margin is very good on the item, then what I tend to do is I'll flip like one or two just to try to make up for the cost, and then I move on to another item. Because if you see an item, for example, like Dragon Claws, and it only has like a 20k margin, then it's probably going to be very easy to flip. So I just flip it once or twice to get that profit back and then move on to other items. Seth Arav popping in over on YouTube. Haven't seen you stop by in a minute. Good to see you, Seth. He says, yo, what is good? Thought I'd slip in and recommend trying the Glory Uncharged. It's doing good right now. We'll maybe give it a shot today. I don't know how I feel too much about the Glories. It's not my favorite flip. I actually find they're quite hard to sell off, although they are a little bit easy to buy. We have Vilu popping by as well over on YouTube. He says, Ayo, the vids and the Discord server help me out a ton. Love the content. Vilu, thank you so much, man. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And if you are enjoying this live stream today, be sure to drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. And I know you're subscribed to the channel already, so thank you for that. Jeremy says, I've made many friends along the way. Trading CSGO skins, I guess. You mean you've by playing CSGO. Okay. He says, play a ton of CSGO, over 2,600 hours, CSL collegiate leagues for college, just with friends, and of course, trading the item skins. That's really cool, man. That is one thing I always admired about CSGO is CSGO is by far one of the greatest shooter games. Like there's no doubt in that, right? One of the best first-person shooters, and it has been for quite some time. And it's always had this community behind it. People, that's like a cult following game. Trust me, if you are into FPS games and you play on the PC, there's no doubt in my mind you've at least heard of CSGO or seen some gameplay. Anyway, we did end up selling those primordial boots for 504k in profit. Really good flip on those. I'm very happy about that performance. I'm actually going to try and get a few more pairs, but I don't think it's actually going to work out for us. I would like to hit the limit on those if we are able to. But, I mean, we're having a lot of luck today selling stuff back. I mean, if you guys have noticed since the start of the stream, compared to some of our streams within the past week, we've been trading so many items here today, and just with such a quick speed as well, which has been a blessing. Sarah Doman is on our side, that is for sure. Seth Arav says, yeah, I know, I've been watching, just never talking. Hey, that's not a problem, man. We appreciate our active people in the chat as well as our lurkers as well. So if you're someone who likes to pop into a stream, just put it on in the background and not talk with the chat that much, dude, I totally get it, man. JPS says, I got into trading with TF2. TF2, another great item economy. What is it in TF2? I think it's hats, right? People trade hats back and forth. Another great item economy. Great example. I'm telling you, any game with a thriving, player-to-player market is, it makes a big difference to me with my enjoyment with the game. I think it's a great aspect that all games should include, whether it's for real-world money or not. Like, I just really like it. So any MMO really has one, but like thriving ones are definitely old school RuneScape, RuneScape 3, World of Warcraft. All those games have really thriving economies, and I mean, a lot of people trade the gold for real money as well, but that's a whole nother aspect that makes the game's economy a thing, right? It gives it some real value, and it actually drives items in a certain way. So, I could go on forever talking about it, but I'm going to spare you guys today. You guys know I love to rant about these things. Look at all this luck we've had today. A lot of items trading today. Things are going extremely well. We're going to turn around and sell these abyssal bludgeons here, and we're getting about 100k on those, so really happy about that. Also, let's go ahead and list the Dragon Hunter crossbow next. I want to do the crossbow here first today before we do the lances, as I found that the lances just have really not been doing that well compared to the Dragon Hunter crossbows. I've been able to get better margins on the Dragon Hunter crossbows here recently, which is typically not the case for me. Most of the time, I'm getting a much better margin on the lances than I am on the Dragon Hunter crossbows. And the lances, I find, tend to trade a little bit faster as well, which is another bonus of it. Allow More over on YouTube says, have you done a video on how to read candlestick graphs? I have not, but if you'd like me to make a video on it, I can. Candlesticks, I don't really find that in old school RuneScape, looking at candlesticks on graphs is really super important. I find it's better if you just look at the normal setup for the graphs, like the line or whatever. Candlesticks are great, but, it's not like... There's not a ton of volume in old school RuneScape, so you really want to look at candlesticks when things are extremely high volume in real markets, but RuneScape, it does have high volume items, I guess, but they're tracked through GE Tracker. Anyway, that's a whole nother separate rant. If you guys want, I can make a video on reading candlesticks. I think in one of my past videos I touched on it briefly, but definitely nothing substantial. Now, we're going to list the Tormented Bracelets next. Tormented Bracelets are... I flip the Tormented Bracelets most of the time after I flip the Necklace of Anguish and the Amulet of Torture, as long as both of them are decent flips. I don't like the Tormented Bracelet as much as I like the Necklace of Anguish and the Amulet of Torture. But, that being said, I do think they are a worthwhile flip if it, your previous Zenite jewelry was a good flip. Now, on top of that as well, I would only flip the Tormented Bracelets if I had maybe like 150 mil to work with. And the reason that is you want to try to trade multiple at a time if you can. We're currently at the 2 mil mark, so things are going extremely well tonight. We're going to do the Armadillo Godsword next, actually. Super simple flip, trying to net a little bit of profit on that. And holy moly, the top... Armadillo Godsword just shooting up in price. This thing has been struggling recently, and I'm actually very, very surprised to see this thing at 8.4 mil right now. That's really crazy. I have to look at the GE Tracker graphs and see when that happened, because that is abnormal to me. Let's also go ahead and do the Armadillo Chain Skirt. Like I said in previous streams, I like to do the chest plate more, but, the Chain Skirt's more inconsistent, which means it could have a better margin for us. We'll have to see. Not a bad margin, not something I would go crazy about, but definitely worth flipping. We'll go ahead and list a few of those. We also finished up on the Primordial Boots. Bludgeons are struggling, and not a good sign, but it should be okay at the end of the day. Baby Bear RS over on Twitch says, I finally got the blowpipes to flip 300k in profit. That's awesome, man. You know what? I should try the blowpipes. Should we give the blowpipes a shot? Let's try them out. Could be just a huge item pump on these right now. You know what's going to be good with the blowpipe as well is going to be the Zulrah scales. We'll try and flip both of them. Not a great flip, but, definitely good. We'll take a few of those to the house. Okay, also, let's go ahead and do the Zulrah scales. World of RS, I'm sorry I missed your previous comment, but I can't find it, man. Yeah, look at that. Zolver scales getting a nice little boost. Like I was talking about earlier, when the Zolver scales raise in price, so does the toxic blowpipe, and vice versa. Obviously, that makes sense since you can disassemble the toxic blowpipe into Zolver scales, and it would make sense that the prices are correlated. We're going to flip the Carol's Leather Top next. Carol's Leather Top and a lot of Barrows gear. If you guys have seen the 10 to 100 mil flipping series I'm doing, I flip Barrows gear constantly. I really find that it's a good flip for smaller cash stacks. And again, it's a great way to move into like some of those gear related items when you have a lower cash stack. So you can flip Barrows gear with as low as 25 mil, I would say. That's about a comfortable place to start. And it's a great way to advance your knowledge into flipping more gear related items and kind of getting better at flipping. The Barrows gear is a great step in that direction. We have Vilu over on YouTube. He says, Aonomics, I'm almost in the bond territory coming from free to play. Amazing, man. He says, any tips on finding good flips myself instead of copying what others are flipping, especially overnight ones? Do you have any, before I get into the answer, do you have any familiarity with members? Do you know certain members' items, like, or have you played members before? Because that's going to make a big difference in my recommendations if you have versus if you haven't. It's also not a bad idea to flip other items that other people are flipping. That's not always a bad thing. If you're doing something at the same time actively as someone else, maybe it's not as good, but to flip the same items during the day as someone else is not really a bad thing. And obviously, like, a lot of people are going to flip a lot of items, right? So it's going to be hard to find items that absolutely no one is flipping. It's almost near impossible. I've played members before, but I have not gotten far, says Vilu. So Vilu, my recommendation would be to smash the like button, first of all. But on top of that as well, if you are flipping or you just got to members to flip, overnight flips are a little bit different. I would stick to high volume overnight flips first. And the reason that is because they're a lot safer. So, you can check out like the margin on sharks overnight. So maybe you list sharks 15 to 20 GP lower than their active margin. Typically is about right for sharks overnight. But do high volume at first. And once you get that high volume out of the way, you can start to work into other items. For example, Barrows is a great starter overnight. I know I've talked about that before. Toxic Blowpipes, great overnight to start out with. Furies, a great overnight to start out with. Armadyl God Swords, Bandos God Swords. These are, people flip these items, right? They are commonly flipped items, but trust me, you're still going to get your offers filled overnight. I wouldn't worry too much about finding items that no one else is flipping. We also have a comment coming in from Toby Lee over on YouTube. He says, how do you get into flipping when you've got a small cash stack like 500k-ish? So my personal recommendation and what we recommend most people do with 500k is to find another moneymaker in game, Toby, that can actually make you a little bit more GP per hour, because if you're starting to flip with 500k and you're flipping actively on the Grand Exchange, you're not going to make enough money to where, first of all, you're learning how to flip, and second of all, to think it's worthwhile to flip. 500k is just not enough money to really get the ball rolling. So we'd recommend at a bare minimum to start with 5 mil. I personally recommend people start with 10 million GP, because if you're trying to start with 5 mil, even then it's going to be tough to see the power of flipping, but you can do it. I recommend 10 mil personally because, one, you're going to be able to try out a lot of items and learn how to flip more effectively, and two, you're going to see the results of flipping. You're actually going to be able to make a decent profit per hour flipping, and it might outpace even your other moneymakers that you have access to. So hope that helps you out, Toby. Drop a like if it does. By the way, guys, we are having a flipping competition in our Discord group, so there is a link in the description below to that. We've got up to, I believe, total, it's like 25 mil in prizes if everyone gets the bonus holiday portion of the competition. So anyway, just go check it out. We don't have a lot of entries right now. I think we have 2 entries currently, so your chances of winning are very, very good if you enter this competition. And I want you guys to win some free money, okay? Anyway, we did get the Dragon Hunter Lances. We're clearing about 50k on those. We looked at the margin originally on the Dragon Hunter Crossbow. It said we were going to make about 100k each. I don't really see that being the case. I think we're going to have a tough time selling those off. And the reason that is they bought a little bit faster than I anticipated. Also, we're going to knock the Abyssal Bludgeons down in margin here. And the sad thing about the Bludgeons is they might not sell. Honestly, bludgeons are not a very consistent item. They can make you a lot of money, but I don't find them to be super easy to flip. That being said, as soon as I said that, they started to sell off. currently at 2.48 mil in profit, 38 minutes into the stream. We have just been slaughtering the Grand Exchange these past couple of streams, guys. We've been getting in, logging into RuneScape, flipping everything, and just been making bank. So I hope you guys do enjoy it. Vilu says, thanks a lot for the tips. No problem, Vilu. And we have Toby Lee giving us a thank you as well. Toby, if you have an account that doesn't have a lot of stats, then what I would actually recommend doing is maybe going out and looting in the wilderness or looting on a PvP world. That's going to be the best way to do it. Oh, a Mandalorian, I missed your comment over on Twitch. Thank you, and welcome to the stream. I totally missed that. I do apologize. Sometimes my chat gets a little crazy. We still have 113 mil sitting on the sidelines. I don't think we're going to be able to flip this next Tormented Bracelet, so we're just going to turn around and sell it. And we'll list that, let it do its thing. Should sell off pretty quickly, though. Currently at I don't know. Oh, yeah, you can. 3.9 mil an hour profit right now. Wow. Boss of Kill over on YouTube says, yo, what is that RuneLite plugin? The RuneLite plugin is called Flipping Utilities. You can find it in RuneLite by going to the plugins section of the plugin, obviously, or of RuneLite, excuse me, and going down to the plugin hub, and there you will find Flipping Utilities. Definitely use it. I mean, I love using Flipping Utilities. I think it is such an incredible tool. It is probably the best thing that has come to old school RuneScape as far as flipping goes. It, like, legitimately, in my opinion, you know, GE Tracker was really great too, and sites like Platinum Tokens, but nothing beats Flipping Utilities, man. I find it super useful. World of RS says, so I'm unable to get back on Discord. What do you mean, World? You can't get in our Discord group, man? Come back to us. You might have to go ahead and update your Discord to be able to get back in. I'm not sure. I'm not a Discord expert, unfortunately. Now, we didn't have any luck buying any of the Armadillo chain skirts, so we're going to go ahead and try another item. We'll do the Bandos Godsword as well, right? Because if the Armadillo Godsword is looking good, we might as well try to give the Bandos Godsword a shot, see if we can make a little bit of money off of it. The margin on that Armadillo Godsword was really solid, though. And we'll list this up a little bit here. We'll get the limit of those, which is 8 every 4 hours. And since we did margin check one of them, we can only buy 7. And we'll use this extra slot to go ahead and sell these Armadillo Godswords. We have Vilu saying, another question, with overnight flips, how do I know what margin I should sell the items? Should I use a sales graph to get an estimate? Vilu, let me give you a pro tip just really quick. Go ahead and go to my most recent episode of 10 to 100 mil flipping. It just came out today. In the very beginning of the video, I talk about how to do overnight flips, and I actually walk through the graphs for a bunch of different items and show you how to list overnight flips. So that is just a brief introduction to overnight flips. I have a more extensive guide in the works. I've been saying that for so long. It's probably like my 3rd month saying that. I want to make sure it's a good video though. So there's a, you know, that flipping guide is coming out, but if you want a brief introduction to it, definitely go check out my episode of flipping 10 to 100 mil. I believe it's episode 17. It came out today. It walks through the process, man. I can't get the Discord app to launch at all, says World. It just throws me an error. Try uninstalling and reinstalling it again. If not, I don't know what else to do. Maybe try to get it on your phone or something if your phone can get Discord. Pretty sure most smartphones can at this point if you have a smartphone. Vilu says, gotcha, I'll have to binge all your vids. Vilu, you should. Honestly, I think if I had to recommend a piece of content for a beginner flipper or someone coming into the channel who's trying to learn more how to flip, the 10 to 100 mil series is a great series to start with. And we've already got 17 episodes of that. Baby Bear RS over on Twitch says, the Arma chestplate has an incredible margin, was getting almost 100k each. Oof! We should have went with the chest plate instead of the legs. Big mistake. Wild Muffin popping in. He says howdy as well. My favorite icon out of everyone that's ever entered my chat in the history of my streaming career, Wild Muffin's icon is my favorite. I'll give you that credit, man. You know I like it too, okay? Because it's not the first time I've said this. Not a lot of luck on these leather tops here. We'll go ahead and sell those back. Those should sell pretty quickly because the margin was quite small. I think we're only getting like 4K on those. And we're right back on that Armadyl Godswarm margin again. Wait, that's not right. I think that should be about good. I keep moving my microphone around. I hope you guys can hear me okay. And we've got all the Armadyl God Swords. Now, they might be coming down on us a little bit here, so we'll list these next ones for just a slightly lower. And we'll let that do its thing. We have Wild Muffin. He says, I should change it to my actual cat pick. She's rocking the cone of shame. So sad, man. Oh, man. I hate seeing animals in the cone of shame, man. Probably still cute, though. 3 mil profit so far, guys. Really solid profit. 44 minutes into the stream, and we got the Carol's leather tops off as well. We have 4chan Dweller over on YouTube. He says, Wolf of the GE. Wolf of GE Street. I guess the Grand Exchange isn't really a street, though. It should be, though. It should be nationally recognized within Gielinor as its separate entity. I mean, Grand Exchange is the only financial market in RuneScape. So, besides, I guess, player-to-player trading, but that's kind of dead besides scammers, I think, as far as I know. Oh, I guess there's bulk trading, though. Bulk trading is another market of RuneScape. You know, I've never been a big bulk trader. You know, I could make videos on how to do bulk flips, but, you know, it's not something I have a lot of experience in. I don't think it's a type of content that's very exciting to do, and, I don't know. It's it's like it is flipping, but it's kind of a different thought process. It's more of like investing your cash daily, basically. You know, bulk flipping is good if you don't want to learn how to active flip, or you don't want to learn how to make overnight flips or investments or things like that, or you're just lazy and you want to put your money into something. Then bulk flipping definitely is good to learn, but it's not something I've ever really looked into too much. Baby Bear RS says, Dragon pickaxes are pretty great. They buy and sell a bit slow, but they are consistent and profit almost 500k. I actually do want to do the Dragon pickaxes. I was going to do them earlier, believe it or not, but we actually did a different item instead. The problem with the Dragon pickaxe, though, is every time they're kind of competitive. I find that flipping the Dragon pickaxes is not very easy. I always get like overcut on these things. I have to keep adjusting the price, and it just doesn't make it a very favorable flip in my opinion. Although Dragon pickaxe, a great overnight item. I'm actually going to try to flip those overnight tonight. We'll see how it goes. Seems like we're having a little bit of sell action here. We're going to knock the bludgeons down again. We're still making a good margin on them, but we are taking a pretty big cut to our original margin. So instead of making the original 100k, we're making about 65k on the bludgeons now for every single one that we sell, right? That's per bludgeon. Wild Muffin says, it seems too annoying trying to find buyers and sellers with bulk flipping. He says finding buyers / fighting with sellers. Yes, it is a little bit of annoying, but keep in mind that if you're bulk flipping, then you're putting all your money into these items for an extended period of time already, and all you have to do is make one sale, right? So if you can't sell it immediately, you just wait and you pile up more, until someone comes by and they wants to buy your stack. 3.2 million GP, 47 minutes into the stream. This is a great example of how powerful flipping is, really. I mean, this has been a great little live stream today, and I actually didn't expect it to be this good, so very happy with the performance today. We're going to go ahead and list the Zamorak and Hasta. Now, the Hasta and the Zamorak Spear used to be one of my favorite flips to do, but I haven't found very good margins on them recently. I used to be able to clear like 150k flipping these, but as of lately, I haven't found anything too exciting on them. And we'll list a couple of those, and we'll let them do their thing. We also got all of the Bandos God Swords, which is really nice. We'll turn around and sell those as well. We'll give it a slight, very slight margin cut. And a lot of people ask, like, hey, should I overcut, should I undercut on my items? I say almost always you should do it. Not by a lot, but just a slight bit, and obviously that is a percentage you want to cut by, and it depends on the flip you are doing, right? If it's a high volume item, you obviously only want to cut by like 1 or 2 GP, depending on how much the margin is. You don't want to ruin your margin by overcutting or undercutting though, because even with a slight under/overcut, you're still going to be able to sell the item, I promise. A little bit more about that. I almost always overcut or undercut, and people say, oh, don't do it, it's scummy. Listen, okay? It's you versus the Grand Exchange, okay? You got to get your flips sold before anyone else does. It doesn't matter if your friend is flipping the same item. It doesn't matter anything. You have to undercut other people. And because if you don't, then you're going to lose out, and you could possibly lose money. So always give it a slight undercut, in my opinion. And that's actually different than what I used to teach. I used to say high volume, just don't overcut on high volume if you're flipping for a 2 GP margin, okay? You don't want to flip for a 1 GP margin, but, you know, anything over 4 GP, sometimes I'll give that a cut. I'm just saying. Vilu says, are you studying economics? I am not studying economics, although I do like economics. I find it interesting. And the Bandos Godsword sold off 3.6 mil in profit this session. Extremely good session so far, guys. Let's go ahead and reinvest this 675 mil that we do have. We'll try out the Armadillo chestplate. Why not? Jonathan Castro popping in. He says, hi, good to see you, Jonathan. Thank you for stopping by today. I hope you are enjoying the stream, and drop a like if you are. And let's go ahead and sell in some of the, or not sell, let's go ahead and buy some of these Armadillo chest plates. The margin doesn't look that great on them. It looks like about 60K at this moment in time, but we will go ahead and list a few of them just in case maybe we'll be able to trade them fast. Although I will say the Armadillo chest plates are not an item that typically trade very quickly. They're, again, like the Armadillo chain skirts, they're a pretty inconsistent item, although they are more consistent than the chain skirts in my experience. Now, we still have 415 million GP left. You know what? I think we're going to go ahead and put this into... Let's try the Pegasus boots. We might be able to sneak a little bit of a good margin on those. And I'm actually happy because those Abyssal Bludgeons are selling, which is a really good sign. We're still getting profit on those. Not really a great margin on the Pegasus boots, but, you know... It's good enough. I tend to find better margins, surprisingly, on the Primordial boots. Even though they're not as expensive, I find better margins on them most of the time. And now we just sit on the sidelines. This is why I like flipping in the first place, right? Usually what I do, actually recently, guys, I've been watching The Walking Dead, right? That's been my new go-to show. I don't know why. I've just felt like, hey, you know, I need a new show. I might as well watch The Walking Dead. So I put up my flips. I watch The Walking Dead on my second monitor, and it's just a great time. Now, we have Home of the Toxic Pears saying, are we going to see you flipping in Cyberpunk 2077? You know, I don't even think I'm going to buy the game unless the reviews are extremely positive. But you probably won't see me flipping in there on this channel. Vilu says, dang, that's crazy. You learned so much without actually studying. Well done. I mean, it's not like, you know, this is not extreme economic advanced concepts, right? Most of this stuff is pretty basic stuff, in my opinion. We have RJ. Oh, what's up, RJ? Popping in. He says, Sierra, you gonna play Cyberpunk? Probably not in my... You know, I don't have plans to play Cyberpunk. If you, like, here's the thing. Every game I'm skeptical about, okay? It's very easy for gaming companies to advertise a great game. And look, Cyberpunk, it looks great. It looks fun. But... you know, I'm very skeptical to pull the trigger on my games. I'm very stingy. I don't like to buy games. I do like a thorough analysis before I get anything. And our RJ knows that, so it's kind of funny. But, you know, I'll definitely check out some Cyberpunk content. Do I think I'm going to get the game? I don't know. I haven't really watched anything on Cyberpunk, to be honest. I'm just a RuneScape player, you know, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to play it in 3 minutes, so I'll let you know. Sounds good, man. I watched the Cyberpunk gameplay today, and it actually looks really good, says Baby Bear. Yeah, I mean, I bet it's a good game. You know, I don't doubt that. I'm just a very skeptical person. If I don't think I'm going to play the game for, like, 100 hours, I won't buy it. That's the problem. And, you know, I don't even... Is Cyberpunk multiplayer? Is it single player? I really don't know. I think it's... If I had to guess, it's a single-player game with multiplayer aspects. Confirm if that's correct. Anyway, that's how out of the loop I am, man. Oh, Rom Taffa popping in. He says, make me an admin. Good to see you, Rom. I will. I keep forgetting to, okay? You got to text me, okay? Text me and I'll make you one. JPS says, I'm a RuneScape player. Leave me alone. Put that on a t-shirt / mug. Probably get some decent sales on that one. See, you know what? I hate that, man. I hate that skeevy concept. Single player and multiplayer is going to get added later. No. We can't be doing games like people have to realize game companies cannot do this. If you don't build a multiplayer at the start, your multiplayer is going to be crappy. I'm calling it now. Look, quote me on this. Cyberpunk multiplayer is going to be bad. Guarantee. I guarantee. Red Dead Redemption 2, people were really hyped for the multiplayer sucked. You know, every game that doesn't think multiplayer from the beginning is going to be a bad game. I promise. It is extremely difficult for game companies because think about the game itself, right? If you're a game company and you're developing a single player game and then you're like, oh, let's add multiplayer later. The whole entire concept of the game was built on it being single player. You don't just throw multiplayer in. It's not something like, oh, we'll just make it multiplayer later. And I'm very passionate about companies not doing that. I think it's a horrible idea. And yes, will it probably get them more sales? Yeah, probably. But it just doesn't make for a quality game. And it's you know, the more focus on gaming today is to make games that drive revenue and that are not exactly good. If you can get the player to play the game a lot or spend money on it, hey, then you win, right? As a game company, but it's, you know, I could go on forever. Again, dude, we could make a whole entire YouTube channel on Scapenomic rants. I'm telling you, I could go on forever. What about GTA Online? It came out later. No, I think GTA Online is pretty good, but I think it came out with the game getting released, right? But also, well, keep this in mind as well. GTA Online was not the first of its kind, right? I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure there's previous games that had GTA Online. I don't know for sure. I've never played GTA. I know it's sad, okay? Don't yell at me. I've never played it. That being said, if I remember correctly, some of the previous games did have multiplayer features. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Baby Bear RS. I didn't, you know, I've never played one GTA. I've never even played a minute of the game. GTA 4 had it. See, the company knew how to do multiplayer. They probably weren't ready to release the multiplayer in its current state, but still wanted to release the game at a certain point due to advertising or due to, I don't know, what do you call it? Like due to, you know, maybe it's the holiday season, they got rid of it, so they wanted to make sure the game got out. So they had, like, if the multiplayer came out 2 weeks later, they had the multiplayer basically ready to go. And they had done multiplayer in the past, so they have a better idea for it. It's new games that introduce multiplayer later. It's not a good concept. Although, I have to say, from what I've seen of GTA, I think the multiplayer looks really good. So, hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just a breakthrough example. We've got some flips moving back and forth here, guys. I'd like to get one more flip in, as long as we can move it quickly. We're going to try the Armadillo helmets. We should have done the Din's Bulwark instead, actually. We should have tried to flip a few of those. Also, I gotta say, I love games that just continue to make content, and GTA is one of those games where the game came out in what, if I had to guess, like 2016, the newest one, and they just keep making updates for it. I think that is a good idea. I don't think games should keep trying to make new titles. I don't think that's the way to go, really. I think you make one game and you update it constantly. You could make huge expansions for it, but I'm more of a guy, like more of a fan of games. I'm more of a fan of games who make one game and they continue to update it. Another great example of that is Don't Starve. That's another game where one company made a game, they made a multiplayer aspect of it later, which turned out to be really, really good, but it's considered a separate game entirely than the original Don't Starve. And I think the original Don't Starve came out in 2013, and they still make content for both games to this day. Absolutely incredible company. By far their most successful game. It's going to be their most successful game until the company dies, I guarantee. GTA 5 came out in 2013? 2013? Are you joking? That's legendary. That is insane. Oh yeah, you know, GTA 5 isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I'm pretty sure they still have a content plan for it, if I remember correctly. So I don't think they're gonna, you know, they probably have GTA 6. They're probably thinking about it. They might even have put development resources into it, but it's still far out, you know. My guess, 2023 at the soonest. At the soonest. And probably since they haven't said anything about it, it could be longer. GTA 5 is also the single most earning entertainment product ever. That's crazy. Could be. I mean, I'm not hating. I hope CSGO, or not CSGO, I hope Cyberpunk is a good game. I really, really do, because Cyberpunk has been hyped up so much across their like community or people who are excited for it, that if it falls short, I will be upset. You know, I won't be surprised, but I will be upset. I'm someone who tends to have a very, very poor outlook on games that come out, right? Because there's been so many titles that have been amped up that have just fallen short constantly. And, you know, that makes me really upset. You know, World of Warcraft is a great series. Although I hear Shadowlands is actually pretty decent. Some of the World of Warcraft expansions have definitely fallen short. And anyway, that's a whole separate rant. But I'm just very skeptical of games who advertise and say, hey, we're going to have this, come play our game. No Man's Sky, great example of that game. They said they're going to have multiplayer, they released the game, single player, multiplayer came later, and although apparently they fixed the game, apparently it's good now, no one plays it still. Why is that? Because the game sucked when it came out, so no one wants to play it. Okay, we have, PP over on Twitch. He's got a funny name. I can't read it. He says, you should do a stream where you start with like 10 mil and show prices so smaller flippers can learn. So PP, believe it or not, we have a series over on YouTube, which is flipping 10 to 100 mil, which covers this exact aspect. So if you want to find some items that you can flip with 100 mil, I guarantee checking out that series is going to help you out. We just came out with the most recent episode today, so check it out. We made a lot of bank in the new episode. Jacob W. over on YouTube says, yo man, I have a set of items I used to flip that might make an interesting reason and method. Might be a good video idea. Jacob, please message that to me over on Discord. We have a Discord group in the link in the description below if you're not in there already. I'd definitely love to hear more about that, man. And thanks for, you know, possibly sharing that list with me. World of RS, I missed your CSGO story. Sorry, man. Let me read it. World, you got banned because your brother put an aimbot on it? Dude, feels bad, man. F in the chat for that. Woo. Noodle giving us a follow here. I think, oh no, he joined us on YouTube. Thank you for the subscription, Noodle. We really do appreciate it. And welcome to the flipping team, man. We're glad to have you. Also, we got another comment coming in from Baby Bear RS. He says, I agree. I've never played Cyberpunk, but this game looks insane and right in line to what I like playing. I have really been into every aspect of a game for me. Oh, I have to be into every aspect of a game for me to buy it, like the Crisis series, GTA, the Resistance series, etc. Yeah, I'm very stingy. Look, I'm a big Activision Blizzard fan. I know they've gotten some hate recently, okay, but there's reasons for why I'm a big fan. I'm a massive fan of them. World of Warcraft is, you know, a game that's really deep in my heart. Of course, RuneScape is too, man. I think I have, overall, out of every game I've played, the most hours in RuneScape, believe it or not. That used to not be the case, but I think 2020, I really put some major hours into RuneScape, okay? Unhealthy amount of hours, but when you can't go outside, like, what are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? Lake Kiesi says, I am back. Good to see you, Lake. Thank you for tuning in again. And I think we're going to wrap up the session there, guys. I mean, I think we've had a really good session today, and we've had some good discussion. I was super into that. We've been live for about an hour, which is typically the amount I do stream during the week. We got 6 viewers over on Twitch. We got 26 here on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. We're going to cut back on the last of these flips. And guys, 4.2 mil in profit today. That is really, really good. I was not expecting to make this much money today. Although I haven't really done a lot of flipping this week, I got to be honest. So I don't really know where like margins were or how markets were doing to begin with. I'm a little bit out of the loop at this moment in time. But from now until Friday, I'll definitely do a good amount of flipping. 4.2 mil today, can't really be too upset about that. We started our session flipping a lot of, well, basically the whole session we flipped some higher volume gear items, right? So bludgeons, what do we do? Imbued hearts, primordial boots, which did really, really good, by the way. 744k profit on these, really nice flip. And thank you. I have 14,526 hours on RuneScape, says Baby Bear. That's a lot of hours. You probably have me beat on that, I gotta be honest, but I mean, I wonder who has more time gaming, right? I wish you could just calculate all the time spent on games. Dude, I don't even want to know the number. I'd probably be ashamed. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in today. Be sure to drop a like if you're watching over on YouTube. If you're watching over on Twitch, definitely consider checking out the YouTube channel. We upload very, very frequently on there, and we're always streaming. We come at you live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys are enjoying the content, be sure to drop a follow, drop a subscription, drop a like, and yeah, that's really it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.